Alright guys, so welcome once again to Slydog Racing League. We're with Tier 2 now. We're going to be doing Brazil and Abu Dhabi final races for the season for them. So let's see how well these guys are going to do. So we're going to get straight into our one-shot qualifying and then get into the race. We're going to have a small grid for this one, so it should be quite easy to follow everyone on track to catch any possible incidents that's going to happen here. So let's see, we got Osborne, we got Monster, we got Granny Boy, we got Joseph, Liam, Loaded Storm, Finger, Ryan, and Wheeler. Alright, and we are on with our qualifying session, so let's see how well this is going. So Granny Boy is someone I haven't seen race in quite a while, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how he does in this league. And he's invalidated this one-shot qualifying lap so far, so let's see how well he's going to be in the race in terms of making up for that. And I think we got Liam out front at the moment doing the fastest lap here. Let's see if he's going to be able to finish out in front, as he's already in sector 3, almost in sector 3 going anyway there. So I think he should be on a pretty good lap. Monster running just behind him in P2 at the moment. Wheeler in 3rd, Osborne 4th, Darren 5th. Lotus Storm 6, Granny Boy 7, Joseph 8, and Ryan 9. The Finger is out of the qualifying because he probably crashed somewhere on track. And it does look like Ryan is going to be starting on pole for this race, with the best lap of a 108.091. Monster at a 108.4, Wheeler at a 108.9, Osborne 109.2, Darren a little bit bad of a lap of 113.1, and Lotus Storm did a 118.5, not too good. I think Ryan is the only driver left. I think he might be disqualified for invalidating a lap as well there. So not too bad, we got quite a few interesting lap times here at Brazil. Let's see how well this race is going to go. So there we have it. Liam starts on pole, Monster just behind him in 2nd, Wheeler in 3rd, Osborne 4th, Darren 5th, Lotus Storm 6th, Ryan 7th, Joseph 8th, Granny Boy in 9th, and the Finger in 10th. Let's see who is going to rise up on this occasion here, as we should be getting started in about 20 seconds time. Alright guys, here we go, the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix, so let's see how well it goes for Tier 2. And they are off. I'm going to leave that on position change so you can see what's happening on track. See cars all over the place at the moment. Liam continues to lead as Osborne goes down to 3rd, Monster running 2nd. Grindberg already up into 6th. Let's see what's happening down in the back here as he's trying to get past Joseph right now. Lotus Storm and Grindberg going at it at the moment there. Let's see what's happening, if we can, on the overhead cam here. As Granny Boy moves ahead up into P4 already. That puts Joseph in the P5. Now Lotus Storm down to 6. Quite interesting gaps down at the back here. I think we might have some disconnected cars as well. I think Wheeler's trying to get through that traffic of disconnected cars down at the back, as I think, oh, the finger taps Lotus Storm just a little bit on the rear end there. And Osborne at the side of the track, not sure what happened to him. And some minor contact between the finger and Lotus Storm as they go ahead into turn 1. I think Lotus Storm is coming out of that. No, the finger is coming out in front of that. Oh, and we might have had Lotus Storm have a spin there. Going back out front, let's see what's happening. Monster is just a second behind Liam, as Granny Boy is now up into P3, 1.5 seconds behind him as well. He's about to join that fight out for the lead for the race here. Let's switch this off to tires and let's see what's happening. So Granny Boy running on medium tires and getting all the way up there extremely fast. He has a finger on hards. We're following with Monster currently, as he's lost the gap that was under a second. It's now 1.2 seconds. He's coming under pressure now from Granny Boy down in P3, because his gap has now broken down to under a second. So Alfa Romeo driver catching up very fast at the moment. He's going to want to be careful about that car behind him now, because he's starting to lose a little bit of time to Liam, who now has the fastest lap out front with a 109. DRS has now been enabled, as the gap between Monster and Granny Boy is so much closer than it is between Liam and Monster right now. They're trying to catch up with each other, all going at it. Monster is going to be under a lot of pressure for the entire race if he can keep himself in P2 and keep Granny Boy behind him. Of course, that gap is breaking down as we speak, so he's going to want to be careful in terms of his car placement and entering exits into these turns, and try to keep up with Liam as much as he can here. And we got Granny Boy just on the rear of Monster's car now. He's going to try and go around. He is using his overtake and DRS both and gets past quite cleanly as well and gets the fastest lap of the race so far. Now up into P2 is going to be chasing after Liam, who's currently leading the race 1.4 seconds out in front. I got Osborne under a second now behind the finger there. Wheeler and someone just switched positions down at the back. I think Wheeler is in the pits. Gap between Liam and Granny Boy is about to go under a second here out front as well. Will Liam be losing the lead of this race to Granny Boy? Let's see if he can keep it going until his pit stop does come around. Because of course Granny Boy running on the mediums doesn't have to pit as early as him. He's going to have to really think about when he's going to choose to do this pit stop here right now. Finger getting under half a second actually now behind Osborne, so I'm going to switch to that in just a bit to see what's happening there. Let's see what's going on down at the back. So he's getting pretty close to Osborne right now, trying to fight it out for 5th. I see CGS has joined, but just a little bit too late. He's not going to be able to get into the race session here now. As we got Lotus Storm getting very close. Oh, behind TTV Ryan. Ryan is disconnected, however, so he's going to be getting by pretty easily. As we're going to get out front with Liam and Granny Boy and see how this battle is going for the lead of the race. Of course, we haven't even gotten the pit stop rotations as yet. So it's been quite interesting so far. Granny Boy starting down at the back and getting all the way up into P2. I assume he'll be earning a seat for season 2 here, if this race does go well for him. He's definitely caught up to Liam now. The only question is he gonna go past or just let Liam hold the lead out a little bit more until he does that pit stop and then goes in. Of course, Liam not going to be pitting as yet. It is still quite early in the race, so let's see how much straight line speed Granny Boy does have over Liam if he can actually get past. Because Liam is going to have to push everything out that he has right now to keep that car behind him. Trying to make sure he blocks up that racing line. Don't allow the car behind to get a free pass. This is not going to be easy on Liam's end to keep Granny Boy behind him right now as they're very close together. Got a finger currently in the pits right now. Let's see where he's going to be coming out. So Darren is out of the race. I don't think he was supposed to be in the race. I'm not sure as yet. And that gap is ever so close. Using DRS doesn't have a lot of overtake to use on this occasion, but I think he's going to be able to get side by side with Liam here now. As he does, loses the slipstream just a little bit and goes on the outside around turn 1. Let's see if he's able to get it done. He did for just a split second. Of course, Liam got back his lead, holding it out, going through to lap 7 at the moment here. As Granny Boy goes alongside and goes past up into P1 now. Liam now down into P2. Liam now has a lot of work to do on his end to try and catch her back to Granny Boy's car and get past. Got the finger going side by side with Lotus Storm, and the finger comes out on top. He is now in P6. Lotus Storm goes down to P9, so finger now running behind his teammate Monster there, who is currently running P5. Joseph into P4 at the moment. I think he might have had a little bit of a mishap. Monster got past him up into P4 now, and he's down to P5. Not sure what's happened to his car. He might have lost a bit of front wing. It does seem to be going a little bit extra slow at the moment. We're not able to see his front wing at the moment. And yep, he does have some severe damage on that front wing, so definitely he's going to have to do a pit stop and a wing change here. And that's going to cost him quite a bit of time. As Liam now running 1.4 seconds behind Granny Boy, so he's losing a bit of time as the laps go by here. Does have him in view in front of his car at the moment, so you know, good enough motivation to keep going and keep trying to catch up right here. Of course, we're gonna have to see if the pit stops are gonna change anything about this. Joseph finally in the pits to change off that front wing. He's gonna have a tire change added as he's in there. And Liam is losing a bit more time, a few tenths each lap here at least. He's now 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds behind Granny Boy as he continues to lead the Brazilian Grand Prix. And we have Osborne running in third still. Monster is now running in fourth, Finger in fifth. And Lotus Storm 6, Ryan in 7, Joseph 8 is in the pits, Wheeler in 9th, coming behind him, might be getting past. I think Joseph is already out of the pits there though. So some gaps are building a little bit as we're halfway through the race at the moment. Of course, we do have the very final race after this one ends at Abu Dhabi for Tier 2 as well. So we're going to see how well they do in that race there. But let's get to the end of this one first and let's see who's going to be winning here. As Granny Boy is increasing that gap, now up to 3 seconds off of Liam's car there. Liam desperately trying to keep up. He is now in the pits. Granny Boy is going to gain a lot more time here now. Of course, we're going to have to see what happens when he does decide to do his pit stop. Got Osborne running in third behind his teammate Liam. Then now goes ahead up into second because his teammate is in the pits. Of course, the AlphaTauri cannot double stack it. They're going to have to decide when they're going to be doing their pit stops here. So Liam has done his. Let's see when Osborne decides to go in for his pit stop. We got Monster and Finger running fourth and fifth as well. They're not going to be able to double stack as well. Of course, there is a little bit of a gap between the two of them, which is about 9 seconds. So maybe it's possible for Racing Point drivers to actually do it. Of course, they're going to have to be in communication with each other to make sure that this is done effectively and it doesn't slow down our second driver coming in for the pit stop there. And Liam does move past Osborne. Goes back into second. Osborne back down into third there now. But just under a second behind his teammate. So our third drivers are going to continue to go to the Osborne is now in the pits. Let's see if Monster is going to be able to get past him, which I think he does. Not sure if the Finger is going to be able to get past as well, as he's coming around the pits now. And Osborne seems to be serving a penalty. He is going to lose out on that position. Of course, Joseph being about 37 seconds behind this is not going to be able to get past Osborne before he gets out of the pits there. So he's going to be able to keep himself in fifth. So Grandboy still leads. Now 22 seconds ahead of Liam. He has, I think, quite enough time to get in for his pit stop and get back in front of Liam there. Of course, Liam is going to be pushing it very hard right now. And Grandboy has to take that one mandatory pit stop, and he is currently doing it right now. Quite sure he's going to be going on to the soft tires at the moment here to finish the race. Let's see if he does do that. And yep, he does. Goes on to the soft. Let's see where Liam is coming around. I don't think Liam is going to be able to get Granny Boy on this occasion here, as he's already exited the pits and got going. So he's going to be about 6 seconds behind. And have to go to the end of the race and try at least to finish in second if he's not able to catch up and finish in first. So let's see how this runs. We got Granny Boy currently leading. Liam now in second. Doesn't need pit stop. Monster in P3. And let's see how pit stops are going for these guys here. So stops. I think everyone's done a stop so far. I know Joseph had to do an early pit stop because he did have that wing damage. So Monster running third. Finger running fourth behind his teammate there. Osborne now in fifth. Because of that penalty he had to serve in the pit lane there. Joseph now runs in sixth. I'm quite sure he's going to be able to go to the end of the race on these tires that he has on here. Hopefully he's be able to finish right there. We got Wheeler in seventh now. 2.5 seconds behind Joseph. And Lotus Storm in eighth. Ryan running ninth. Barely able to see Joseph's car run some of these turns as he goes around, so he's going to have to try and catch up as much as he can with just about 5 laps of racing left to go here at Brazil. Oh, and Monster gets a 3-second time penalty there. That's going to hurt his race down up there in P3. Of course, his teammate is 9 seconds behind him, so if he can maintain that gap, then his teammate will finish right there in fourth, provided he doesn't have any more penalties there, of course. And Liam there running now 5 seconds behind Granny Boy. He's going to want to really push it as hard as he can out front to make sure he keeps as close as possible behind Granny Boy. I would probably suggest keeping within a 3-second range, under 3 seconds that is, so just in case Granny Boy does get a penalty, you can actually still win it. Of course, Liam cannot get any penalties if he's about to even try and do this here. Or if you can keep it at 5.8 under 6 seconds, you're going to have to hope that Granny Boy has at least 2 penalties, which I don't think he does at the moment. I didn't notice him getting any penalties, so That's going to be a pretty difficult task for him to get out front there. And Granny Boy just got the fastest lap at 108.7. Yeah, Wheeler chasing down Joseph right now. He's 2.2 seconds behind, gained about 3 tenths in the past lap, or 2 tenths I would say. Following on board with Liam out front here now. Let's see, 6.9 seconds now behind Granny Boy. He might be losing some time on those tires. Of course, Granny Boy being on the soft tires, much faster tires, is going to have a bit of an advantage over Liam here right now. So not an easy job that Liam has to do that Alpha to try and keep it in second at least. Because I'm not sure how possible it's going to be for him to actually be able to catch up to Granny Boy in the next 3 to 4 laps. Osborne gets a 3-second penalty. Joseph gets a 3-second penalty. They're just taking turns doing it right now. That's going to even out Osborne and Joseph there. Of course, Joseph is about 17 seconds behind Osborne. Granny Boy goes even faster now with a 107. Currently into lap 15 we go now. Gap is 8.9 seconds. As I think Liam is about to lap Lotus Storm's car there. Going back down to Wheeler down at the back. He's still chasing down Joseph, who is now 2.1 seconds in front of him. He's going to have to count on the penalty that Joseph has if he has any chance of getting that P6 here now. Of course, if he does have penalties himself, that's not going to work out too well for him. Okay, so running on lap 16 of 18. We got Liam now 11 seconds behind Granny Boy running. So he has a pretty good lead out front. Running in sector 2, running in sector 3, probably ending for lap 16 shortly. Let's see who else has a close gap. So got Wheeler 1.7 seconds behind Joseph now. So he is catching up, gaining a few tenths each lap here. And this might actually turn into a battle for P6 before we get to the end, if he keeps this up. Does seem to be getting pretty close. Gonna have to hope that Joseph makes some sort of mistake in front of him, of course. Keeping that gap steady at 1.7 seconds at the moment. Closest gap we have in this race so far. So I'm going to stay on board with Wheeler for just a bit to see how close he can actually keep to Joseph here right now. But Joseph driving pretty well out front to keep that gap constant at the moment. Of course, he's now breaking down just a little bit more after speaking about it. 1.3 seconds now. Wheeler is running out of time to actually get this overtake done though, because we're on lap 17. We're going to be going into lap 18 pretty shortly here. Final lap of the race, and let's see what he can get done. Gap is now 1.1 seconds as they're now going to have just one lap remaining to do this, as our lead driver has just entered the final lap of the race. Gap is now under a second though, and breaking down further and further as we speak about it here. So Joseph now under some serious pressure on the final lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let's see if he can actually keep P6 Of course, that penalty is going to come into play at the end when we do get the results here. And Wheeler, I think, still will want to try and get past Joseph if he can. Doesn't hurt to get past the finish line one position ahead rather than just getting it on the technicality of a penalty here. He is doing an excellent job of keeping it out front so far though. Oh, Wheeler chooses to go into the pits on the final lap as we have Granny Boy coming across the line for P1. That's a win for him here at Brazil, and let's see if he's going to do a repeat of that at Abu Dhabi when we get there. And Wheeler is retired in the pits. Liam now running second coming around. He should be finishing P2. Did an excellent drive on his behalf there though to actually keep it there in P2 and try to keep up with Granny Boy as well. And we got Monster coming for P3 and his teammate is behind him coming in for P4, which they should comfortably get. Loaded Storm has finished 8th so far. And I got Osborne coming around. He should be in P5. Let's see if he does keep that though. We have Joseph still yet to come in with across the line for his time. Let's see if his penalties does affect anything. So Osborne goes 5th. Joseph coming around now. Final section of the track, and let's see if he goes P6 or not. I think he should quite comfortably get P6 here, because Wheeler did retire from the race. And that is it for the Brazilian Grand Prix for Tier 2 Slydog Racing Lead. We're going to be getting straight into the second race. Oh, and driver of the day goes to Granny Boy, of course, because he did start down at the back. Of course, he's going to be starting in 10 for the next race. Reverse grid for top 10. And let's see if he can get it done again. Probably make it 2 for 2 for him. So not a bad race at all. We're going to be getting straight into Abu Dhabi as soon as the guys get the grid order sorted in just a few minutes here. So let's just go through this one more time. Let's see as it is. Oh, we do have it. There we have it. So he started 9th and finished 1st, so not bad. Had the fastest lap on was 7.9. So Granny Boy takes P1, Liam P2, Monster P3, Finger P4, Osborne P5, Joseph P6, Wheeler 7th, Lotus Storm 8th, Ryan 9th, and Darren 10th. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be racing or not. We did have a DNF there. So that is it for that. And we're going to wait for the guys to get sorted with the next race at Abu Dhabi. Alright guys, so we're back on again with Slydog Racing League for Tier 2 for the second race, and well, it's the final race of the season for Tier 2 here at Abu Dhabi. We should be getting started any second here as the reverse grid has already been set up. Everyone is just going to be choosing their race strategy, and we should be getting onto the grid for the race start. Should be an interesting 25% race. Final race of the season for the Slydog Racing League. Has been quite an interesting season so far, gotta say. Alright guys, there we go. Loader Storm starts in P1, Joseph in second. Let's see who's going to keep their positions here. Oh, and we got AlphaTauri losing it already there. As Loader Storm goes out in front, Joseph still in second. The Finger moves up one position, Monster up one, Granny Boy up 2 positions already. And let's see, quite a few more positions changing here, so we're going to just switch that off now. We got Monster and I think Joseph going side by side right now. They are going at it. Let's see between Monster and Joseph who's going to come out in front of this one here. Oh, and looks like Monster goes ahead of Loader Storm as well, trying to take the lead of the race, but Loader Storm comes back at him, pushing him just a little bit off track, trying to take the curve to get past. Loader Storm still keeps the lead. Monster in second, Joseph now down into third, as Nazareth running in fourth at the moment. He's trying to creep up on Joseph's car. Might have had a minor incident. Oh, Loader Storm had a bit of an incident with someone out in front. Or probably gets lost it. I'm not sure as yet. Now running down in fifth. Ryan getting past him. Maybe not as yet. You got Granny Boy getting all the way down into P10 at the back. Has some damage on his front wing. Might have tried an overtake that was a bit too risky, but did have an incident with someone there. Not sure who it was at that point in time. We got Trem running down at the back in 10th right now. ZGS out of the race. Monster getting the fastest lap of the race so far at 143.2. Still leading. We got Liam running in second now behind him. If hopefully the graphic on screen is correct. Ooh, and Trim is out of the session. Not sure if he was supposed to be in it or not, but he is out. I think he made it retired in the pits. I'm not sure if he was supposed to be in the race or not. Alright, so Monster lead. We got Nazareth running in second, Liam running in third, Loader Storm runs fourth. I got Rand running fifth, Osborne in sixth, Finger in seventh. Oh, and that switch between Osborne going fifth at Ryan down into sixth now. So Ryan and Finger fighting it out just a little bit, and someone is disconnected. I think Ryan's car is disconnected at the moment here. He is. Joseph running in eighth, trying to catch up right now. Granny Boy running in ninth. He has taken his pit stop and changed out his front wing, so I highly doubt he's going to do another pit stop in this race. So he's going to be finding out from P9, trying to get out in front. Let's see if he's going to be able to do it on this occasion here. Did do it at Brazil at the last race. Started 9th, finished in 4th. As Monster continues to lead, Nazareth continues running in second. Monster gets the fastest lap once again. Liam still running in third. They got Loader Storm still running fourth, and Finger chasing him down in fifth. Pretty close behind. So let's see if he's able to get anything on. Using all the overtake he has at the moment there, and getting very close to Loader Storm. Trying to go on the inside. Actually letting that go for the moment there. Let's see if he's going to be trying that again on the back straight of the track. Of course, they have Osborne coming behind them as well, trying to fight it out for the position here, which is for P4. Oh, and the Finger gets past Loader Storm just a second. Loader Storm trying to take it back. So Loader Storm and Finger going at it, switching positions all the way around the track as the Finger gets past. I got Osborne coming behind Lotus Storm there as well. That was a little bit too much swaying on track there. So Lotus Storm is now under pressure from Osborne, who's coming behind. He's about to get past. And he has done it so far as it seems. So the Finger runs 4th. Osborne now runs 5th. Lotus Storm now down into 6th. Ryan running 7th. Currently Joseph runs 8th. And Granny Boy in 9th. Still trying to catch up to everyone there. He is now catching up to Joseph, and he is about to get by. Has the fastest sector 2 times so far. Let's see if he's going to be able to get this move done on Joseph pretty easily or not. Alright, Des get it on the outside, so now moves up into 8th. Has about 15 seconds to catch up to Ryan's car, who is still disconnected from the race. Get on. Oh, and that was quite an incident with Osborne there. Not even sure how the heck that happened. It's the first time we've seen a car in such a serious accident here. Just flying around the track. So I'm not even sure that's going to be a safety car or not. We just seem to have a yellow flag so far. But a disastrous incident for Osborne there. Hopefully everything's okay on that end. And that is going to be a full-on safety car to get rid of all of that debris off the track, which is definitely going to be a lot with the way that car was flying around. So Monster currently leads under. Our safety car is going to be Monster, Nazareth, then Liam. Let's see if we're going to have some pit stops happening at this point in the race. Because I think that might be happening for a few drivers here, especially those running on the softs. They might want to think about switching onto the mediums and going just to the end of the race, trying to take advantage of a free pit stop under the safety car here. I'm going to follow on board with Monster out in front, and let's see who's going to be taking a pit stop here or not as they get around to that pit entry. And we do have Monster going into the pits already, trying to take his pit stop. Let's see if he continues to lead the race, if everyone else behind him is going to pit or not. I'm not sure as yet. Obviously going on to the medium tires and getting out back. We got Nazareth getting into the pits, Liam getting into the pits. So everyone currently pitting except for Granny Boy and Joseph there, who both of them I think have taken their pit stops already. I know Granny Boy did his pit stop already. Now we have Monster following the safety car. So, oh, Granny Boy is in the pits as well. I think he wants to go onto better tires. He might be switching back to softs to go to the end. I'm not sure yet. Let's see what he's up to here right now. And definitely he is doing that, switching onto the soft tires to go to the end of the race. So we got Racing Point in P1 and P2 currently as it stands. They've done their pit stops. Monster leads, then Finger is second. Got Nazareth running P3, he's done his pit stop as well. Liam in P4 has done his. Joseph in P5 done his pit stop already. On the hard tires though, he is on much slower tires, so he's going to have a bit of a difficult time in the race whenever you get started again. He's going to have to try and hold on to that position if he can. Then Lotus Storm in 6th, already changed off to mediums. Ryan in 7th, his car changed to mediums as well. I think he's still disconnected though. And Granny Boy down there in 8th, I thought he probably would not have pit and just would have been in 6th behind Joseph there. But is now in 8th. But he does have on those soft tires, which I think he's going to be using to his advantage, because he's definitely going to be catching up to the rest of the pack before we do get back racing again at the end of the safety car. So he's going to have a way better chance of gaining some more positions. Hopefully doesn't attain any more damage on that car, and he's probably going to be able to catch up and get out in front. If he is able to do that, we're going to have a look. But these guys are not going to make it easy for him. Racing Point definitely getting a lot of points here for the final race of the season though. doing pretty well with a 1-2 finish if they can actually keep this up. Nazareth and Liam behind them, though, two drivers are going to want to be worried about, especially Liam there. They're going to have to be a little bit worried about that. We're still waiting for the notification from race control that the safety car is going to be in on the lap, so we're going to have to wait on that for just a bit. Okay, so we're gonna have the safety car in on this lap, and we should be getting back to racing. So, an exciting 8 laps or so more of racing left to go here. Alright guys, so safety car is heading into the pits and we are about to get back racing here. Let's see how our restart is gonna go with Monster and Finger leading, and I think Finger's already gotten past Monster. They're trying to switch positions already there. Nope, they're back for now, and let's see how this goes. Oh, and we got Nazareth getting past the Finger. Now up into second, Finger down into third. Monster still leads though. Liam running in fourth, trying to get past the Finger at the moment here. Oh, Joseph out, Lotus Storm out. So I think it's just 5 drivers remaining in this race, but I think Ryan is still disconnected down at the back. Yes, he is. So Granny Boy now runs in 5th. Liam runs in 4th. We got Finger in 3rd. Nazareth in 2nd. Getting very close to Monster out, who's currently leading the race out in front. Let's see if Nazareth is going to be able to get past him here, though. He has caught up quite quickly. Granny Boy getting very close to Liam's car there at the moment, trying to get past. Oh, and Nazareth at a 3-second penalty. He might be pushing it a little bit too hard out front. Of course, there's only about half the race left to go and not very long. Oh, Granny Boy gets past the Finger and Liam in one go. As the double overtake going up into P3 now. Liam still just a quarter of a second behind him, trying to chase him down though. Monster, if he does see this happening down in the back, he's going to want this race to end as soon as possible for him to be able to keep the lead of the race and the win if he can. Nazareth as well is going to want to finish second rather than down in third. So let's see what's happening for Nazareth now, just a second behind Monster, chasing him down. Let's stay on board with him for just a bit and see what's happening here. Just did a purple sector 1 on his side there. Oh, and got taken away by Granny Boy, who is now right behind Monster. Oh no, sorry, he's not behind Nazareth yet. He is there, just over a second the gap is at the moment. So Monster's still doing a really good job out front, trying to keep the gap over a second on Nazareth. Nazareth still driving pretty well, though. He has gotten the gap to under a second now. Of course, he is under pressure from Granny Boy 93 coming behind him as well. So he's going to have to be a little bit careful of how he approaches the end of this race. Monster running on medium tires, though, doing an excellent job out front with two guys on soft tires chasing him down behind. Granny Boy is actually extremely close to Nazareth now. Let's see if he's going to be able to get a pass done here. After that, it's going to be Monster under the pressure as Nazareth goes just a little bit wide there, leaving a gap open for Granny Boy to go alongside, trying to go on the outside around. Does the fastest lap on doing this and does seem to get past. Nazareth now down into P3 and Granny Boy up into P2. Monster now still continues to lead the race though, 2 seconds ahead. I got Nazareth still trying to fight back to get back P2 away from Granny Boy right now. As the finger is in the pits right now, Liam still running in 4, 2.6 seconds behind all of this chaos happening out in second and third. Does seem to be losing some time using DRS and his overtake, trying to catch back to Granny Boy. Let's see if he's actually going to get this done. This might lead to an overbraking to try and get past him here. Of course, he's not going to take the risk at the moment. Still going to keep behind Granny Boy and go for now. Didn't want to risk going wide on that turn and just losing more time. He is saving that DRS at least a little bit for now. Doing an excellent job keeping up with Granny Boy here at the moment, though. We're going to have to avoid getting any penalties, of course. Monster is about to be get under pressure there now from Granny Boy as well, as he's just 1.2 seconds out in front and leading. So coming under pressure from these guys down behind, as Nazareth's putting up a pretty good fight with Granny Boy trying to keep up with him, as that fight is now getting up into the front for the lead of the race. So it's going to be a pretty good battle going around there for that. And there goes Granny Boy with the fastest lap of the race once again on lap 10 right now. Just under 4 laps of racing left to go. Granny Boy now under a second behind Monster. And Nazareth still under a second behind Granny Boy as well. So he's doing an excellent job actually of keeping up with him. Nazareth seems to be losing a bit of time now as he's now 1.6 seconds behind. Monster is going to have to be a little bit worried now as that gap is starting to go half a second and under between him and Granny Boy here. He has very limited amount of laps left. He's going to have to try and hold on to this lead as much as he can and avoid getting any penalties in this race. Once the finger gets past Ryan Scott, which I think is still actually disconnected from the race. So far we have Monster leading this race, Granny Boy in second, trying to get past Monster there, and Nazareth running in P3, Liam running comfortably in P4, the finger in P5, and Ryan Scott in P6. Let's see how the finish is going to go. So currently running on lap 10, we're about to go into lap 11 here now. And there we go, just entered lap 11. So just under 3 laps of racing left to go. Let's see if Monster can actually hold out on Granny Boy for the next 3 laps. Provided he doesn't have any penalties, he will win this. Even with a penalty or not, I would say if he can actually keep in front of Granny Boy, it will be pretty impressive for him, his driving skills here. Nazareth now 2.6 seconds behind Granny Boy. Trying to catch up still. Of course, he's losing a few tenths every lap here. He's going to have to do a little bit of better job on that. But of course, tires are the same as Granny Boy's tires. Liam on the medium tires still trying to keep up with Nazareth there. 6.1 seconds behind. This is getting a little bit too close for comfort for Monster here right now, because Granny Boy is now right up to the rear of his car trying to get past. He's going to have to be a little bit worried about where he places his car at the moment. Let's see if Granny Boy is going to be able to get past. He does seem to be doing it for the moment. And let's see if Monster takes the inside and get it back. For now, he does. So Monster driving pretty well at the moment. Under a lot of pressure here right now, though. And Nasser's getting a 3-second penalty down there in P3. He is trying to catch up to Granny Boy. Monster is trying to gain back some time right now, trying to make a gap of some sort between himself and Granny Boy, because he doesn't want Granny Boy in that DRS range when they do get to the DRS section of the track. It is going to be quite a disadvantage for him if that does happen, because he doesn't have a lot of overtake to use. Granny Boy doesn't have a lot of overtake either, but the DRS is going to be an advantage for him if he does get it, which it does seem like he will, because he's been under a second for quite a while now. And they are about to get on the straight section in Sector 2 of the track, which does have that very long DRS section to go on. So far, so good for Monster on lap 12 of this race, and he's still holding it out in P1, holding on to the lead of the race as Granny Boy puts on DRS and overtake, trying to go around Monster on the outside. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it done. Oh, Monster takes the inside and tries to hold it for now. Granny Boy is trying to switch positions with him, of course not getting it done. So excellent driving from Monster here to actually keep this going for so long. Let's see if he can actually keep it going to the end of the race now, because we'll be going into lap 13 pretty soon. Just sort of 2 laps more of racing to go after that. Monster is desperately trying to increase that gap to just over a second here, but not getting it done at the moment. Still keeping Granny Boy in that DRS range, which is a very dangerous part to keep him. Well, they're still going at it here, so let's see how much longer Monster is able to hold out in front. Doing an excellent job, I gotta say though. And you're on lap 13, so if you can do this for another lap and a half, he'll be good to keep the win for this race, which I definitely think he wants to, being in the final race of the season. I don't think he wants to lose it out right now. Granny Boy does have the DRS, of course, doesn't have a lot of overtake to use. So Monster is going to have to watch his car placement getting around this chicane here, which he does actually do pretty well. And Granny Boy is probably going to go for it on the outside once again here. Getting past Monster here now. Let's see if Monster can get this back. And takes it on the inside again. Granny Boy does try to pull a switch, not close enough to get it done. Has to keep it behind for now. So great battling from these two guys out in front for this race. Most of the race, you gotta say. It's very short. We'll be heading into the final lap of the race. It just will be one more lap that Monster needs to keep it in front in P1 for now. Just keep Granny Boy down in a second and he can win this. Let's see if he's able to get it done. Gonna be quite impressive if he actually can keep this and get it done there though. Nazareth was running pretty well. Having some trouble catching up to Granny Boy though. He's still running P3 with Liam running P4, Finger in P5 and Ryan scoring P6. Joseph, Lotus Storm, Osborne, Trem, and Zee all those cars out of the race. I don't think Trem and Zee were supposed to be in. I'm not sure as yet, but 6 drivers to finish, not too bad. Actually, 5 drivers to finish. As we're on the final lap of the race here right now, let's see how close Granny Boy is able to get. Has his DRS on, doesn't use the overtake on this occasion. I think he's going to use it on the next DRS section. Of course, let's see if this is going to be a repeat move on Monster trying to cover himself on the inside whilst Granny Boy goes on the outside. Not sure if Granny Boy is going to take a different approach to try and overtake Monster on this occasion. Now, of course, not as close as he was the last time. Using overtake and DRS, I don't think he's going to be able to get as close as he did on the previous lap. And I think this was his point of the track where he was able to get very close to Monster's car. And let's see how this plays out coming down to the end here now. We're currently already in Sector 3 running. It's been a great battle between these two for most of the race, most of the final laps of the race, I gotta say here. So not a bad way to end the final race for Tier 2 here. As they do, let's see if they have any penalties or they do keep it. Monster takes P1, Granny Boy takes P2, and Nazareth coming across for P3. So great job on win on Monster actually for getting that win done. And let's see his teammate Fingers coming across for P4 here now. Just about a few more corners for him to go. And let's see if Ryan's car is still disconnected. Yeah, his car is still disconnected there. So it's going to be the Finger in P4 and Liam in P5. And there we go, that's a Finger in P4. We're going to wait for Liam's car to cross the line in P5. And that's going to be it for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here today. The final race for Tier 2. Alright guys, so that is it. So we got Monster winning this race. Granny Boy takes second. Does take the fastest lap though. And 0.3 of a second difference in the finish time for them. So Nazareth in P3, Finger P4, Ryan P5, Liam 6, Joseph 7, Lotus Storm 8, Osborne 9th, Tremin 10th, and ZGS 11. Let's call it as it is. And that is it for Slydog Racing League for both Tier 1s and Tier 2. That is the end of their first season. And their second season, I think, is beginning on November 23rd, if I do get that right. Anyway, it will all be posted out. So look forward to that. So thank you guys for joining us for the session. It was an interesting race, very excellent win, I gotta say, from Monster. There, great driving from both Monster and Granny Boy. It was a great fight going all the way to the end of the race.